Rolling on that. Rolling on that. And here we are. Let me get this settled before we start talking, and we good to go. There we are. Ty.
What's up, man?
It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. I like the new set.
Minuen, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice
Glad
to
to
have
be
you,
here.
brother. Nice to have you.
So this is the first time on our little show here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about it for a minute, though.
Yep.
All right, so let me introduce you guys. Everybody knows Ty. Everybody knows me. This is Minuen May. He's a boxing coach extraordinaire with Savage Boxing in Charleston, South Carolina. Tell me about your boxing, and then we're going to talk about more than just boxing.
Well,
Tell me what you got going over in North Charleston at the Savage Boxing Academy.
so we're Savage Boxing. Started very small and just kind of accidentally grew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the reason it grew, I can say what I want to say,
You
right?
can say
Yeah,
anything you didn't want to say.
okay.
Here, in fact, we're
Yeah.
gonna pull this a little closer to your face. So.
There was a lot of bullshit going on.
Somebody had to clean it up. Show them how to do it.
Without naming names, tell me what bullshit means.
Fake ass boxing
Okay.
Oh, so
or favoritism,
Okay.
shit like that.
just bad practices.
Yeah, just bad practices.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of people. Man, they were smiling in my damn face
But yeah,
and
okay.
talking bad
That
on me
reminds you.
behind my
Okay.
back.
I got you. That's not cool. You already know that.
I mean, that's just how the shit goes.
Yeah,
man.
it's
I
a
mean,
little
Is
bit.
that boxing community, or is
Nah,
that
that's-
any kind of fitness community? Is it any
Nah,
kind of
that's any
community?
I
goddamn
think that's a
community.
little bit of life.
Yeah,
Wherever you
that's
go.
life.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
wherever you
yeah.
go, job, school, work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
remember, the people who smiling up in your face ain't necessarily the ones who want to see you succeed.
Right.
Well, in fact, that's probably most likely the opposite.
So
Yeah.
when the thing started, word was coming back to me. Ah, man, they said this, that about you. What? That motherfucker was just having a drink with me the other motherfucking day.
Right. That's when you pull in the ring.
Ah,
You see if he will challenge you and see if he actually want to.
no. They don't do that.
Okay.
They don't do that.
Boom.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. Real people who know how to fight.
Don't like the fight.
Exactly.
Because
You know,
is that because they've been in one and they know what it's really
I think
like?
Nah, that's just not the way you're taught. You're taught that when you learn how to fight or you learn an art of fighting, you don't go out looking for it.
Right. So
Okay.
you fight from a defensive.
Yeah. You
Standpoint.
fight from a defensive
I
standpoint.
got you. Makes sense.
That's like, it's hard for me to go to a bar
Right.
with this damn shirt on.
Exactly, because it's like somebody, this drunk guy, want to see you, or wants to step to you. Oh, you think you can box, huh? You know what
And
I
I'm
mean?
like, nah, man, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's cool, man. I'm just in here trying to have me a drink.
So is it true when most people come in and rushing? You know what I mean? Like they don't bring that same inertia of power because they're coming from a striking force of like running towards you.
You talking
Like-
about physically or
Yeah,
mentally?
physically, like coming in for a punch rather than a person having a stance.
Oh, so you switched over straight to technique.
A little bit.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, he did.
My bad. I wanted to ask
No.
a boxing coach
Well,
a question about that.
No,
kind of
that's
stuff.
that's not a bad thing because your body follows your mind. So
Right.
and the vice versa, if you train your body right, then your mind's going to have to follow it because you're all one piece. So if you train your muscle memory, right? I heard this story about this POW guy. I don't know if it's true, but I like the story, so here it goes. He was POW, and they put him in solitary confinement. And he was a golfer before he got into the military. That was his amateur thing. He just liked golfing.
All right.
So he would play these courses in his mind, his favorite course. He would play all 18 holes in his mind because he had the course memorized.
Damn.
When he got
That's crazy.
out, just a little while later, after the doctor let him go and all that, he went onto the golf course and shot the best game he had ever done because his brain had taught his muscles without actually having to do it because he went through every stroke in his mind over and
That's
over and over
crazy.
again. It's bizarre. So I figure in every discipline, boxing and whatever, it's got to be kind of the same. You got to train your mind as much as you train your
Well,
body.
just like a basketball player, his jumper is kind of automatic. He in the gym
You got to
working,
get that form though. You can't go all chicken wing or it ain't gonna work.
Or
And you got
I
to get your
guess
mind right
A
too.
boxer knows when that left hook coming, he know when to block. You know what I mean? Or,
Yeah, that's the thing that I love about boxing. People are like, damn, why such and such doesn't get hit? or coach, why you don't get hit? And I'm like, I know the sequence of punches.
Right.
I know when you throw this, if I block it, you only got one other option.
Right. You know what's coming next.
I know what's coming next.
Yeah, because your body is in the position to throw only a certain
They're
number of.
not gonna come nothing crazy. You know they.
So let me ask you that question then. Since you know that that's a fact, as a boxing coach, how do you teach somebody else to throw the unexpected?
My motto has always been you take what they give you.
Right.
The opportunity, you mean?
Yeah, so for example, it might be a little difficult to show you, but a lot of people get in the guard like this.
Put your hands up by your
Is
temples.
that like a shell?
Yeah, sort of a shell, but I got a specific name for one. But anyway, watch this. See, I'm protected over here in the ribs.
In the ribs, yeah.
If I want you to move that guard so I can hit you right here, I'm going to tag you over here first.
So you got to shift.
I'm going to make your guard shift.
Right.
Off the first punch. The second punch, I'm coming right up the middle.
And it's opening you up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you take what they give you or you create the opportunity.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That was a creating of an opportunity.
So whenever you see these on television, you're watching these pay-per-views and you see these big, practiced professional fighters, and they get these combinations going, and they nail. It's because they've created the opportunity, and that person doesn't know enough to not give them that opening. Is that what you're saying? So the reason you're winning is because you're falling for the fake out. You're falling for punch you in the elbow to give you that space in the middle. If you don't open up in the middle, then my next blow don't work.
Right.
So the weaker mind is playing into the game of the better mind in strategy.
And then some people will keep punching in a spot that's being blocked. And I'm like, well, why the hell are you wasting all that energy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I pop you over there once and you don't move, I'm probably not going to waste energy trying to do it again.
Right.
Like, that's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, I see it a lot with amateurs, man. I can tell that it's in their brain. I'm going to come in with a triple jab and a cross, no matter what this person do. And I'm like, man, fuck that. If he got his hands up blocking with good defense, well, I'm going to change up. I'm not going to waste 4 punches on some shit that I know ain't going to land.
Can I ask you a question about mental space when you're boxing? Is it bad to fight when you're angry?
Is it bad to fight when you're angry?
Yes.
Man, you get fucked up.
You get fucked up fighting angry.
Bad decisions.
Fighting with emotion. Putting your emotion out there first.
Man, so I say this. There's 2 things. Anybody who know me, when it comes to sparring, because I spar with everybody almost every time we have sparring.
All right.
There have been days they be like, Coach, why you ain't sparring? I'm like, I'm mad.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not.
Right.
Does that mean, are you doing that so that you don't hurt somebody? Or you just,
That-
so you don't make a bad decision?
Number 1 is because so I don't hurt somebody. I don't want to hurt none of my own people.
Right.
The other thing was I got it from my daddy. My daddy was a Vietnam vet, farm boy, so all he knew was cussing and hard work.
Hard work, yeah.
There's also yes sir, no sir,
Right.
yes ma'am, no
tell me.
ma'am, please,
You was-
blah blah blah. I don't talk with grown folk talking.
Squared away soldiers when you by the time you was a little
So it
man.
was times when my daddy was supposed to give us an ass whooping, and he'd be like, "Y'all go to your room. I'm gonna whoop your ass later.
Right.
Because if I do it right now, I'm gonna hurt you because I'm mad."
I got you.
I promise y'all to God, man, he never would whip that belt out if he was upset.
Upset because he'd take that anger out.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. The times I got an ass whooping from my daddy,
Yeah.
I can count them on both hands.
All right.
Oh, I know. I'm the same way. My dad was a pastor.
I got you.
So
So
I ain't,
he
it
believed
wasn't
in
none of
that.
this where you hear these other kids talking about, oh man, my mama hit me with an extension cord or this.
switch.
No. Daily. No.
No.
I got an ass whooping once or twice a year.
And that's all you had needed.
That's all I needed.
Shoot, I could count on my entire life how many I got in one hand, and apparently that's all I needed.
Now I get it. Don't take
Hell,
much now.
all my mama had to do it. Y'all want me to tell your daddy?
Yeah.
Nah, mama, no. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you.
now and let the record show, I was not in an abusive household. I was just in a household that,
discipline.
damn it, respect was first.
Discipline
So you
was-
say, don't go into the ring mad. Don't spar mad. How does your emotion, like if you think you in the right mind
Mindset.
space to get into that situation, whether it's, let's just use a real combat situation, like a real boxing match, right? You're in it for the pro. How do you keep your emotions level
Balance.
inside the ring? How do you prep?
I
What I
think
want to know is, how do you prep for that?
Man, you don't. I don't know. I mean, like every time I've had to fight, I'm a big Mike Tyson fanatic.
Okay.
Mike used to say, well, I may not have it exactly right. He said, my fear of losing is what drives me to train like an animal. Okay. Something to that effect. Mm-hmm. But I know that what he said was his fear of losing is what made him do everything else.
What he did, I get it.
And that was me.
Pretty much ambition of losing.
Yeah, I was like,
you don't like to lose.
And then when you a coach and you got a gym, boy, you can't lose.
You can't lose. You got to be on.
At least in your head, that's where you are. You like, so that's just adding to the frustration.
I got you.
But the biggest thing, man, and it's the hardest thing. It literally is the hardest. You got to be 1,000% relaxed.
Okay.
In physically or mentally?
I think mentally.
Or both.
Well, I think if you relax mentally, you won't be
tensed up.
Right.
Tensed up like this. This is where all your energy go. When you all tensed up and shit, man, I show my people at the gym, they be laughing. I said, I'm getting in the ring, and this person gonna just run around the ring, and I'm not even gonna throw a punch at them. I'm just gonna do feints, which is like that, and they go.
And they use up all their energy.
They use up all their fucking energy. Okay. Use up all the energy. Then you got the motherfucker who want to come out slanging and banging, as I call it. And I'm like, if you ever watch James Toney, James is right there on the inside, like, man, come on with that shit if you want to. But remember this, as long as I got my shoulder in your chest, you really can't do shit.
You ain't getting no.
You ain't getting
no extension,
nothing.
no extension and no wind up.
So I tell people all the time, my style, I'd much rather be on the inside.
Right.
I can still box on the outside, but the other person can box on the outside too.
And you be on the inside, open, that's your rib. You give me like they leaving their ribs open a lot if you get throwing the right combinations for the most part.
Yeah, and
I'm asking a question more so.
It's not that. It's just for my weight class, I'm strong.
Okay.
So being on the inside, boxing dirty, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, cool. That's what you want to do. Let's do it.
Right.
But you still got to be relaxed. That's the biggest thing, because the more relaxed you are,
the better off you are.
The longer you're gonna last.
Okay.
It took me a long time to learn that one.
I also find, and this is not in fighting, but in sports, when I was in college and in high school, the more relaxed you are, the slower time goes.
All right.
Things feel like they're coming at you at a pace that you can handle, rather than, like, especially in basketball, you got 10 guys running around in half court and everybody's going in every different direction. If you can get relaxed and you can see time slow down, you can see what's about to happen about a half a second before it does. And if you all tense and worried and stressed out, you ain't paying attention to nothing but yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes a lot of sense.
You see it with a lot of other fighters when they're boxing, and you got to remember the amateur is different from professional. In the amateur, they want output. Professional, you can sit your butt over there for 10 rounds and not do a damn thing, and then lay some haymakers and knock somebody out.
Right.
In the amateur, you only got 3 rounds at 3 minutes max.
Right.
Most of them are 2-minute rounds.
So they going in. They going in.
They going in.
They going in.
So
they got 6 minute energy. They got 6 minutes of energy they need to waste.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So until they become what is called an open fighter, they fight just 2 minutes. Okay. But I'm going to tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
When you were talking about being relaxed, I remember the time when 2 minutes felt like an eternity.
Yeah, especially in the ring.
In the ring, fighting 2 minutes, if you're not relaxed, it's an eternity.
The build up to a fight, and not whether it be street or in the ring, I think it's just that once you in combat, I think it's the longest time. Especially if you're not relaxed, you know what I mean, or you're fighting with emotion and stuff like that. I just feel like it just takes it don't take long just for
if you're going 100% for 120 seconds, your body can't do 100% for a really, really long time.
Right.
Even marathon runners are not they're not doing the 100-yard dash for 2.5 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't go 100%. So I would assume that it's basically the same thing. If you're stressed out, if you're tight, if you're not focused, if you're not in shape, let's just get blunt. If you're out of shape, you ain't gonna be able to. 2 rounds is gonna wear you out.
Yeah.
I will say this though, a scared man will hurt you.
Yeah.
For why?
Because you just unexpected.
It's unexpected.
Yeah.
And they fighting off for strictly
fear,
scared. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been told by several people when I get tired, that's when I hit the hardest.
Because you want it to be over?
Probably so.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And then 2 or 3 other people chimed in. They were like, yeah, coach, for real, man. When you get tired, that's when you start hitting hard.
Blows be coming.
I said, I'm trying to get y'all ass up off of me.
We talking about all that adrenaline where you can rip seat belts out during a car crash and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like that. The panic mode. Like you just go hard because you know your limits are being pushed.
Yeah. So let's move to your coaching for a minute. So you got, I'm assuming, a number of different age ranges, and you got females and you got males and you got kids and you got adults.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are doing it for fitness, I'm supposing, and some of them are actually wanting to compete, whether it's amateur or even if they have dreams and aspirations like an NBA. Yeah, professional. How do you keep organized in your mind what those specific individuals need from you as a coach? Like, I know that a person that's 12 years old and is doing it for a physical fitness class and extra credit or whatever at school is not going to be the same thing as a dude coming in at 55 years old who's overweight. So how do you keep all of these different people and a strategy for them to meet the goals that they came in to see you for?
First and foremost, I tell everybody when they come in, whether you want to compete or not, I still train all of you the same. You're still doing the same thing that everybody else doing. You're doing the lateral drills, you're running, you're doing the tire flips, you're doing the same doggone thing. The only thing you're not doing is putting that headgear on and stepping inside that squared circle with somebody else trying to take your head off. But
do you spar people that are just there for fitness?
That's only if they want to get in there. I don't force anybody to do anything.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if it was part of the regimen that, like, if you're not here to compete, you don't get in the ring. You're just here to get technique, and you're getting to burn some calories.
No. The thing is, I train everybody the same, but only the competitors get to put it in practice, real life practice, which is a whole different ball game.
Right.
Okay, you can go out here and learn. And this goes back to the muscle memory stuff. You can go out here and practice 20 techniques 100 times a day over 2 weeks. And then you got this person who went and practiced 2 techniques 1,000 times a day over 2 weeks. You can get your ass whooped.
Because he's really good at those too.
Because he can do those in his sleep.
Right. Like muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
So you better practice the defense move 1,000 times a week for those 2 moves.
That's what he said. Most best fighters are defensive fighters, right? For the most part.
I mean, you got to have good defense, period. I mean, you look at Canelo, man. Dude got great defense, period.
Like Alvarez?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great defense. I actually mimicked one of my defensive moves off of his. Okay. I used to have it, and then I saw him doing it one day by accident, and I was like, oh, shit. Let me make a slight little tweak. It was the same move, but it was just the way we had our feet.
Right.
And when I changed mine to the way he like shifted his body a little bit, I got hit even less. I was like, oh, damn. So one thing about boxing, man, I hate it when people take this shit as a game. Cause
this is your life. This is what you love.
Man, people done lost their life in the ring.
Okay.
So when you hear people talking about, oh, boo, and this and that, oh, I could have whooped his ass. What?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, get your ass in there.
All right.
That's just like I tell all my competitors. We don't ever use that L word. The L word is a lesson. Okay? Right. Trust me, if anybody got anything to say, I can almost 100% assure you they do not put on the headgear and step inside that ring.
Right.
Because everybody who steps inside that ring to compete, they know what it's like just to walk in that motherfucker, let alone try and fight.
So there's a minimum amount of respect no matter what.
Right.
Oh, hell
Because
yeah.
because you stepped in.
Nobody will ever, who's a competitor, will ever sit there and talk shit about somebody else who stepped into the ring for the first, second, or third time and, they took an L. Okay, cool.
Part of the game of life.
That's a part of the game. Because the fight itself is,
The lesson, in a sense.
or like the reward or dessert.
Right. Because we practicing all
Because
week.
you had to spend months or weeks practicing,
Training.
getting everything ready, just.
Now you can feast. Now you can eat. You know what I
Cause
mean?
let me tell you, man, I know what it's like to have them nerves going in there.
Right.
Be walking around, hands all clammy and wet, and you're just like, shit, man, can we get this shit on the fucking road?
Is there anything besides experience that makes that go away?
Nope. Not that I know of.
You can't train. You can't spar that out of them.
Not till that bell ring and then you in your zone.
Because now you got ref and you got crowd and you got noise and you got lights and you got
Distractions.
Yeah.
you got
Distractions.
real.
Yeah. You got fans.
Well-
you got your coach in the background. You got a lot of things. And
Ooh,
My thing
that's
is,
one I want to talk about too.
when it's time to go, like I want to go. I don't want to sit there and watch all these other fights ahead of me. I don't want to sit here and see other people warming up and shit.
you can pull
I'm
up to
like,
the fight late just to run into the ring.
yeah, but I can't as a coach.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
just make it look
Oh, that's right. Because you box at events that you coach. So
Yeah, I don't like that.
You got to be
Yeah.
in two headspaces at once.
Once, yeah.
That don't work out well.
nah, it's rough.
It's a leadership
But I have found one little trick though. I tell them, if I agree to fight, I gotta be first.
Right. Get it out the way.
You can't have me
of-
fighting
of
in the
your
middle or at the end.
Right.
My head gonna be gone.
Oh, you talking about first of your
The event.
of your gym, not
No,
the event.
first at the event.
Oh,
Yeah.
the whole event.
So he can coach after the
I
the
get
fight.
it.
That's how I was at the one at Hurricane.
Well, I didn't know if he had to be in the right headspace for him, and if he went before all of his own people that he's coaching, that he could be done with his headspace and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
more so.
I'm worn out by then.
Are you?
I'm worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be one of the first ones. Or I tell them straight up, no, I'm not doing it. Period.
Well, I mean, that's your personal choice, and that's your strategy, and that's the way your head works. So I suppose everybody makes their own contracts.
But I'm like, if I'm coaching my own fighters, there ain't no way in hell I can focus on them when I'm sitting here still thinking about what I got to do.
Okay.
My job got to be finished before I go take care of their jobs.
Got you.
It just doesn't work that way.
So
I've tried it and I ain't like it.
You've had a couple of events at your spot. I photographed them. So, and you had them. They were all day events basically, and you had, I would say, 400 people, 500 people come through during the
That
day.
last one
Is that
was
about
big.
right?
The last one was big.
I mean, you can hold about 250 in there, but it was rotating all day long because
was
you had
packed.
35 fights in the last event.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to making the haters mad.
Why?
You put the groundwork to build up that base.
They don't like that you had a successful event?
Yeah, they don't like that.
What? That seems silly.
They was already talking shit about him
That-
behind his back.
That
These
seems like
ain't
that
Hey
seems
man,
crappy.
I went from the motherfucker they didn't even want to let box
Right.
to, oh, that motherfucker boxing and winning. My first fight lasted 13 seconds.
Okay.
The second one was 45. Motherfuckers was getting knocked out.
Quick. Yeah.
Okay? It wasn't up until I ran across a motherfucker who had, I'm on fight number 3 and he on fight number 13
Yeah.
before I ran up on something. I was like, oh, okay.
Competition, really.
Me and that dude still in contact to this day.
That's good.
It's all it's respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Because he was like, man, how many fights you got?
All right.
I damn near had him, but, his skill was, he fought like he was supposed to. He fought perfect.
Experience more, not more experience in the ring. Well,
No,
this
he
fight-
was a coach too, and he knew what he was doing.
Right.
I mean, experience is experience. Period. You going against somebody with 13 fights and you only got 3.
Three.
You ain't really seen.
what he's seen.
Plus, I'm 5'9". This motherfucker 6'3".
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he did what he was supposed to, keeping that jab hand out. Every time I tried to run in, he was popping
knew
that
you-
jab and staying on his back
'Cause he
foot.
knew
Hey,
if
he did good.
He kept you off your ribs because
Yeah.
you won't work the inside.
I got his ribs a few times, but he.
So how do you coach against you mentioned in that story, he was boxing right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the amateurs, there's a lot of brawlers that just come out.
Oh, no, that motherfucker boxed.
Like windmills. But no, what I'm saying is, how do you, if you're coaching your people right and you're developing their right techniques and you're getting them in the right headspace and you're doing the things that are supposed to be done, like for your amateurs that professionals would be doing on their own, or know that that's the case. How do you get your people to combat and defend against somebody coming in here with a windmill?
So there's two things. Number one, you still got to be relaxed. Number two, I teach them to, quote unquote, stuff that shit.
Right.
Okay? Like I said, if my head is in your chest or my shoulders in your chest, what is that windmill going to do?
Right.
Swing around you.
But here's the thing. You got to be not scared to get hit. I'm not scared to get hit. Don't get it twisted.
Right. You don't like
I
getting
don't
hit,
like fucking getting hit.
but you can accept it.
But I understand that it's boxing. And if somebody throw 100 punches at you, some of them going to hit you.
Right.
Period. Okay?
Right.
The one thing I'm trying not to do is take a clean ass shot.
Right. They could take you out.
And in boxing, it's not the punches that you see coming.
Just the ones you don't.
The ones you don't
So, like,
see are the ones that knock your
You
ass
call
out.
them phantom punches pretty much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
I'm just asking. I don't-
Nah, it's just that's what they say. It's the punches you don't see coming that hurt you. I can see somebody throwing something. I get ready to throw something. I'm like, fuck. And it's a split second time.
You see it coming.
I'm throwing, and I see his shit coming like, fuck. But at least I see it coming.
Right.
And I can kind of brace myself.
Right.
But if I'm looking over here and the motherfucker, pow, right here, I'm probably going to hit the floor.
Right.
So with that said, you can't be scared of getting hit. You got to stay relaxed, and you got to look at them.
Keep your eyes
Not
on the
necessarily
target.
look at their face. You need to have your eyes on their gloves.
Right.
That way, it's what we call hand-eye coordination. It's a huge thing in boxing. And I know this with myself from experience. I had great coaches. Don't get me wrong. When I first started boxing, very good coaches. But sometimes a person doesn't know how to relay something to someone who's learning so that they can get it.
Right.
So that they can understand it. Like my
Well,
coaches
that just
when I
comes
fir-
from good teachers.
Yeah, my coaches when I first started, man, they knew everything under the sun.
Right.
But sometimes I look back in hindsight, damn, man, I wish I would have told me this earlier and explained it this way. Okay? Had they done that, I think I would have.
Sharper learning curve. You'd have got
That
to-
learning curve would have been less.
Right.
You know, it took me getting hit to go to my coaches and be like, man, how the hell I keep getting hit, man? What can I do? And then I got to a point, man, when I'd be in the gym, I just tell people, hey, man, just throw punches at me. You ain't trying to hurt me, but just throw punches at me, and I'm just going to work on defense, period.
Just like you pick up the step from Alvarez. Exactly, so that you kind of just practice to get better and work on your technique.
Well, like I said, it was that hand-eye coordination.
All right.
Okay? One thing most people, this is what all your fair weather boxing friends don't fucking understand. We tell everybody, don't blink your fucking eyes.
How do you stop from blinking if somebody's throwing something at
Practice.
your nose?
Like,
Practice.
You gotta be focused, I guess.
Now listen,
That's human instinct.
don't get it wrong. If you see that punch coming and it's coming right down the pipe, and you know you don't have a chance to block it, you will blink your eye.
Right.
But you're not supposed to blink your eye when the punch is coming at you, just normal, nor when you throwing them.
Okay, yeah, because you want to see what you're throwing at.
You want to see their reaction.
Right.
And you open back up,
Right.
shit, you just got hit.
Exactly.
And so when that's why when we drill a lot, I'm walking by. They're like, did I do something wrong? I'm like, no, I'm just walking by and I'm looking, and then I'll stop. Stop blinking your goddamn eyes.
All right.
They're like, huh? What? No, don't blink. You're supposed to be sitting there. Pop, 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 pop. You got to stay focused. That split second of you blinking your eye, I mean, you catch some of these damn 130-pound cats, man. You see how many punches they throw and how fast they are?
Fast, yeah.
Well, as a photographer, I can't
Super
tell you how many
flyweight.
times I've taken a picture and I caught them right in the blink. So I know how easy it is to catch somebody in a blink.
Yeah, I tell folks, man, I said, these 130 pounders, I said, I'll box them, but I don't really like boxing them because they're so fast and I can't hit them.
Right.
I mean, I can hit them, but I
But
can't.
they just moving around so much. They so
Yeah, and I'm like,
because you 170.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oof. So, and, I tell people when I see some of my heavyweights trying to throw 50, 60 punches around, I'm like, boy,
You're defeating the purpose.
you better
of
slow down.
Yeah.
I'm like, show me another heavyweight throwing 70 damn punches around.
They don't. For me.
They don't. And if they do, come round 3 or 4,
They tired.
tired.
They
Fight
better,
is
they
over.
better win early.
They better win early.
Right.
I tell them, go back and watch George Foreman.
The sluggers.
All right, well let's get with that then. Let's go to physicality. Is there a Minuen May workout program, or is it individually customed, or do you monitor food? How do you prep them outside of here's how you throw a punch?